Since the 1960s, when road salt first started to be used, surface waters have increased in chloride concentrations. Basically, what road salt does is lowers the freezing point of water, making ice melt. It is thrown on roads to prevent accidents during snow events.
Over 270,000 tons of road salt, primarily as halite, is applied to roads in the Chicago region during an average winter.
This is a salt dome, where salt is kept from the weather.
Chloride salts are very soluble, and most of the applied chloride is eventually transported to bodies of water through sewer systems. The reason that salt is a problem to lakes and other water sources is because it gets into the water by runoff, and salts contain chloride.
In surface water bodies, high chloride levels may increase concentrations of toxic metals in pond sediments and prevent spring turnover, preventing oxygen from reaching bottom-dwelling organisms in the sediments.
The higher the concentration of salt in the water, the more species are affected by the chlorine levels. Adam Bosch, the Assistant Director of Public Works and Engineering for the City of Des Plaines, says,
"It's the chloride levels within the water that cause the problems for the fish in those streams and lakes. When those chloride levels rise, it has a detrimental effect on those particular things."
The higher the concentration of salt in the water, the more species are affected by the chlorine levels. There are a couple of things people can do to stop road salt from being such a big problem. And now back to Adam Bosch.
Some of the newer trends and some of the things that are gaining steam right now within the area, within the industry, are some of the liquid applications.
Throwing salt in cold temperatures wouldn't do anything to the ice. It would just bounce off somewhere else. Using a liquid salt solution is useful when it gets too cold and works effectively on the ice, which would decrease the amount of salt needed. With liquid, you end up using less salt because it's more effective.
It's really headed towards a liquid application because that stays on the road if you get it to stick, and it's more environmentally friendly. And that's really the push, is the environmentally sensitive areas. You want to use those type of things because the chloride levels are reduced dramatically.
Also, more salt doesn't melt more snow. Too much salt just ends up in runoffs into water sources. So when you throw salt on your sidewalk, only use enough to melt the amount of snow necessary.
There are also some alternatives that can be used rather than salt. One of them is sand. It increases friction on roads to prevent accidents. The moral of the story is that salt
In excess is a problem.
And it should only be used in moderation.